Okay, and I'm having this positioned up a little bit higher because I want to put a sketch of the Hyundai car maybe underneath it. Okay, so what I have, my measurements are, I have my major axis is 140 millimeters, my minor axis is 70 millimeters. So on this line I'm going to mark off my major axis to start with, so I'll start with 0. The center point will be 70 and the major then is 140. I can call it V1, 0 or O, and V2. There are two vertices on my ellipse. Okay, I'm then going to draw my minor axis in light pencil, and then I'm going to measure on it my 70 millimeters. So it's going to be 35 millimeters in either direction. So that's vertices 3 and vertices 4, V3, V4. Okay, I'm then going to take my compass and I'm going to draw 2 circles. This is my concentric circles technique, remember. So I put it on the center point and I set it to the minor radius, and I draw my minor circle. Okay, I don't lean too heavy on the compass because I want it light. It's only to construct the overall image. I'm then going to draw my major circle. Bless you. And again, I don't want to lean too heavy on the pencil because it's just for construction purposes. So I now have my minor circle and my major circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it like a clock. I knew I needed a battery for something. It's my clock. Come here, I'll put it in. So 60 degrees. Now remember guys, for this, we only use one set square. This is the only set square we use to divide it like a clock, because it's going to split it into an equal amount of 30 degrees. So 60 degrees goes through the center point. I turn my set square and I go 30 degrees to the horizontal through the center. And I turn my set square again and I'll go 60 degrees to the center, 60 degrees to horizontal in the other direction through the center, and I'll go 30 degrees to horizontal through the center. And I'm going to label these as 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 11. Why am I leaving out 12, 6, 3, and 9? Because I already have the vertices for those points. Now remember, the last day what I said was, if my major axis is blue, major axis is drawn in blue, it's a horizontal line. My minor axis is going to be drawn in red. Minor axis is drawn in red. And my division line, my first division line is the green one here, which is number 1. And it's drawn at 60 degrees. Now, wherever my division line hits the minor circle, which is here, I'll draw a line parallel to the opposite axis. So that's the minor circle. The opposite axis would be the major axis. So from that point, I'm going to go parallel to the major axis, which means I'm going to draw a blue line out here, like so, in this direction. The green division line, where it hits the major circle, I'm going to draw a line parallel to the opposite axis. The minor axis is vertical, so therefore I'm going to come down vertically. Where the two of them meet, give me a point on the ellipse that I'm trying to find. I'll do the same thing for all my division points. I just repeat that process over and over again. Remember, keep everything in light pencil because it's the logo that you're trying to stand out. So from 4 I'll go up and across. I go up and across, and the key to this, guys, is for us to be doing this unaided. You want to be able to do this of your own accord and not be looking at the book or not be looking at this video or any other source of help. You want to try and be doing it on your own. I hope that makes sense, does it? And so I'll fill in those dots and I'll join them all up. So these are all my dots, and I'm just going to freehand sketch then between them all. Okay, and then this freehand sketch can go in heavy detail then. Remember, guys, when we're sketching, it should be a continuous curve, like turning your masking tape sideways. There's no sharp edges to it. So when we're freehand sketching, again, remember to be a constant curve, and it should touch all the points nice and neatly. Okay, so there's my ellipse in heavy, as you can see, so it's clearly visible to the rest of the drawing. Now I'm going to finish off the logo. That's only part of the logo. And a lot of car logos are actually an elliptical shape. Can anybody name any car logos other than the Hyundai that have an elliptical shape to them? VTech, hold on now, one at a time, please. VTech?
Subaru.
Subaru. Joao?
Nissan.
I'm actually not sure on that. I have to check that out. Caius? Ford. Owen? Toyota, yeah. And I just have to check the Nissan one. Or Nissan, as I call it. Nissan, I think, is American way of saying it, is it? Okay. So, what we're going to do then is from vertices 3 and vertices 4, we're going to step in or up and down by 15 millimeters. Because the diameter is 30, isn't it? So therefore the radius will be 15, and so I'll set up my compass from that center point to the vertices, and I'll draw again in light pencil a circle to help me construct the logo. Okay, so I have two small circles there that will help me construct the logo. And what I do know is that we're going to move or draw a line. This is known as, so this line here is 60 degrees to the horizontal. Everybody watch this, look at 60 degrees from the center of the circle out to the edge of the circle, 60 degrees to the horizontal. And therefore then the tangent, which is what we're looking for, is 90 degrees to this, which will be a 30 degree line. So I'm going to draw this in heavy, like so. Okay, and then I can draw around the rest of the circle in heavy detail to make it stand out. So from that tangent I can swing that around nice and heavy, like so. Same thing on the top circle. I can go heavy from V3. And the same here applies. So we are looking at 60 degrees to the horizontal. So we're looking in this direction here. from the center, and then 30 degrees in the opposite will give us our tangent. And then what I'll do is along the center line or the major axis, I step out by 40 millimeters to the right, 40 millimeters to the left, and I draw a 60-degree line from that point till it hits the ellipse, the extremity of the ellipse, and the same on this side. 60 degrees top and bottom. I'll add a little bit of shade or colour to my logo to make it stand out.
Now, what I've also done here, guys, is above it, I have put in, I'm going to spell the word Hyundai, go right in the lettering for it. So I've decided that the height for the lettering I want is 30 millimeters, so therefore the width of the lettering is going to be 30 millimeters as well. And I put a 5 millimeter space between each letter. Okay, in the word Hyundai, what letter is going to be smaller than the rest? Hands up, don't shout out. Draw.
The I.
I. It's going to be smaller. It's going to be about half that. Okay, so I've chosen for the I. It should be 15 millimeters, is it? Yeah. It's half of that. It's 15 millimeters instead. So you'll notice that's a 30 by 30 square, 5 millimeter space. 30 by 30 square, 5 millimeter space. 30 by 35, 30 by 35, 30 by 35, 30 by 35, and 30 by 15 because it's an I. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, I have room below the Hyundai logo for my sketch, and I have room on the right hand side for my Champion logo, which I will knock up in a second. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I'm going to just Google very quickly now. I'm going to do a bit of Googling of the Hyundai logo. So I'll go to Google, we'll say Hyundai lettering. Go to images. And perhaps that's the logo there that I want to copy. I'll put that into my pictures. And I'm going to insert that lettering so that I have an idea of how to do my writing. Okay? So that should help me now with my writing. So I can freehand sketch this if I wish, or you can use your ruler if it's going to be neater to put in your Hyundai writing. And the only kind of letter that's a little bit unique is probably the U. You might want to use a compass to put it in, and I'll colour this blue as well. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? So if you notice, the U has a dead straight left hand side, and then it has a curved right hand side. The U and the N are almost identical, one's just upside down to the other. So please, when we're drawing it, let's make sure it looks the same, just upside down, okay? If you notice, that's the difference. You could probably add in here, couldn't you, add in our last topic and make these letters 3D? Couldn't you? Wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be really cool. So we're only doing 3 questions, guys, so we should be able to get them done. I'm just adding this in for creativity, okay, to make it stand out. A little round on that. A. Comes dead straight then. So I have freehand sketched the lettering. I think I've done a decent job on it, but if you wish, please use a ruler, because most of it is straight lines, and use maybe a compass as well for the curved bits if you wish. I'm going to take my blue marker and colour it in to make it stand out. If you wanted to make it look a little bit cooler then as well, you could add in the topic that we did previous to this, and you can make it oblique lettering.
Yes, I.
When I tried to do the trial method, the loctite run short of the minor axis.
What's that?
When I tried to do the trial method, the loctite run short of the minor axis.
Okay, I'll help you now in a second. Okay, just let me get this lettering finished and then I'll help you. Okay.